was
We
scheduled. I
are.
thought it would go live on its own.
No, we still have to hit it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
we're sort of fancy, but not 100% fancy.
Well,
man.
One day we'll get it.
Let me
One
find
day.
out.
one day,
I
but not
know.
today.
Not today.
Yeah.
We've tried like 4 or 5 different things in this little pre-show stuff, and not one of them's working.
Because it's
Well,
Freaky Friday. That's why.
that's why.
Nothing
It
works on
is
Freaky
Freaky
Friday.
Friday. It is Freaky Friday, and I am sharing.
Did you hear that?
Share.
What was that?
That was my bird brushing up against the mic.
Oh, gotcha.
Your bird? I hate it when they
Bird.
do that.
You do, don't you?
I hate birds.
Why can I not
You
hear?
didn't say that.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of birds, I saw the coolest video of this bird that was like speaking these like long sentences, and I was like, man, I'm impressed with you, bird. You're pretty
What kind of bird was it?
one with wings.
Oh, interesting. I've never seen
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
I was floored too. I was kind of like, whoa, when did that happen?
it. Right?
can I tell you
You
Yeah.
can.
about my bird story about
You got a
walking
bird?
around the park? No, I don't have a bird.
You
Oh,
want
was it an eagle? Was it a raptor bird following you, sizing you
No.
up, Joe?
No, it was a little owl, little burrowing owl.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
the one you took pictures of.
Yeah, the one.
Oh,
took
yeah,
pictures
yeah.
of. Yeah. So
That was cool.
I've seen them there before when I was walking the dog. So I'm walking the dog, Ricky Ricardo. I'm walking him, and we pass by this family who happens to be African American, and he starts barking at him like crazy, and I'm like, no, shut up.
Joe.
So we keep walking. I'm like, I'm so sorry, and they're like, it's cool. And so we're walking, and we walk around to where the burrowing owls are, and there's one like probably 2 foot from the sidewalk, and it looks up and stares at Ricky and just goes and hisses at us, and Ricky doesn't even notice the damn bird.
Really? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but as soon as we go back around to where the African American family is, he starts barking again. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I'm
Oh,
racist.
Joe, you got a racist dog.
I trained my dog for this.
We raised a racist Havanese dog.
What
That's
in the
the problem.
world?
And he's a Havanese.
And he's a Havanese. Yeah, and
I'm
just
never
like,
going up
that's
into your. Wait, a
that's
what?
Havanese
He's a Havanese.
Oh,
from Havana. He's from. That's why his name is Ricky Ricardo, because he's from Havana, Cuba.
what are you even doing right now?
That's the Filipinos' impression of the Cuban.
Is that what that is? I gotta say, I talked to a lot of Filipinos in a day because those are some
No,
of my.
you didn't. No, you didn't.
I work with them, and I don't know, Joe. I think they may have you beat.
No, so you need to know about talking to Cubanos, not Filipinos.
The views expressed on this show are
Yeah, they're solely. We don't agree with all of them, so Anita, some of us are doing better than others. Okay.
It's just y'all are putting me on spot. I'm getting all sweaty now. Stop it.
I can't stand that song. Carrie, I appreciate you mentioning it, but my kids, they love when that song comes on. It's like that cheerleader song from 4 years ago or something.
Oh my
what was
goodness.
it? What cheerleader song from 4 years ago?
That's all I can remember was the
Bring it on.
no.
Be aggressive. Be. No, that's probably not that true.
That's probably not it.
I can't think of it. But anyway, it's that. That was from my-
Oh, I know what you're talking
From
about. It's the one with Gwen Stefani. Bananas. Bananas. The one that
No.
one?
If you guys can remember, there's a cheerleader song that was out there. It was I can't
I'm-
describe it other than that I didn't like it. I don't like
I'm pretty
it.
sure I'm right.
No, pretty sure you're not. Good try though. That was a good song and dance there.
Hey, are you going to intro the show, or are you just going to make?
Sorry,
fun of
I
me
was
the whole
waiting
time?
for a while. Welcome everyone. Glad you're all here to join us tonight for the Freaky Friday UFO episode. I hope that your week has been great. I'm so happy that you guys got to come and join with us tonight. I can already see some people who've logged in, and we got some people who are posting up in the comments already.
Hi, Carrie. Hi, Anita.
I hope you guys brought some stories to share with us in the comments as we talk about our homework or the kind of the stuff that we went out and researched to bring back and talk about tonight. So for those of you who haven't seen the Friday episode yet, so what we like to do is we call it Freaky Friday because we want to talk about some of the freaky or spooky or supernatural things that are out there. We take ideas from you guys. We go and each of us just kind of goes and figure out something that we want to bring to the show, and we present that to guys. We present those topics to you, and just get your take on it. And it's time for all of us to we can kind of jab at each other on that and whatnot. But so I hope you two did your homework, because I didn't do too much.
Well,
homework.
You know what? I'm just now, because I'm always prepared. I have notes somewhere, and I don't know where my little sticky note is.
Oh no!
So
cash ticket.
While Sandy is looking for her notes, then we need to go ahead and do our business feature that we've started doing now. So today I posted on a group and I said, hey, I want to help out some local businesses and we want to run a plug for your business. And this was one of the very first people to do so. It's the company name is called Genuine Exteriors Construction. They are a genuinely good Lubbock-based family-owned company. They specialize in installation of exterior projects such as windows, doors, siding, decks, metal buildings, and seamless rain gutters. Their mission is to treat you with honor as you would their friends and family, and their work is to be done with genuine workmanship and affordable pricing. Once again, that's Genuine Exterior Construction. You can find their website at genuineext.com or give them a call at 806-281-7715. Thanks.
Did you do gutters?
Yes, they do gutters.
I need to get the gutter.
It's weird. I don't have gutters on my house either. So I was like,
we did our patio when we put our pergola up.
Mm-hmm.
So we need one that goes this way and this way for the. Oh yes, Jamie, pergola. So we need the water to flow properly off of the roof,
so it doesn't land in her pool.
Yes. It won't land in my pool.
Hi, my name is Sandy. I'm fancy.
Somebody's fancy.
Girl, you know what? If you make that money, flaunt it. That's all. It's all good. Okay? Don't feel bad for
being rich.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid and I used to think about the people who had pools. And I'd be like, man, they must make a lot of money. But that doesn't say much, because I also thought people who, whenever we had purple cabbage in our salad, I was like, oh my gosh, we're rich. And they'd be like, oh, we ran out of purple cabbage. We're not rich anymore. Sorry, Mom. I told that to my mom last year. I was like, Mom, you remember when we used to have purple cabbage in the salad? I used to think we were rich. And then when I got old enough, I realized, oh, it was just payday.
You just threw your mom under the bus like that? That is so crazy. So
I still have the feelings. I still felt good and whatever. I was like, ooh. Did y'all not have things like that?
So whenever we knew it was payday is whenever we would get 2 baskets of groceries instead of just 1 basket of groceries.
Oh, because y'all were on the base.
We were on the military base, yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Hi, Anita.
Yeah, so, and then that meant we got a new flavor of hamburger helper.
Oh, nice.
You know, it's funny when you say that, because I'm like, I think I can only think of one flavor, which is the beef mac and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the flavor is, but that's all.
That was the beef and cheese macaroni hamburger helper.
Well, that's nice. Enough about that. Let's talk about some really creepy stuff today. So, just high overview. What did you guys go out and do some homework and find something interesting to talk about tonight?
Well, I did a couple of searches and I can't find my notes, of course, but so it's crazy. I found this. There's a website where people go on and report sightings, and Texas has its own. I mean, every state has its own, and people. I mean, I'm talking about. They just updated like days ago. Like they reported what they saw, where they were, and I'm like, really? I had no idea that even existed.
Do you remember the site or anything?
Yeah, I was looking for it. It's shoot.
Yeah.
Was it a Facebook group or
no?
is
it wasn't a Facebook
website?
It's like a WW.
All right. See if you can find it real quick. See if it's in your history.
I'm looking, but
okay.
Of course,
while you look for that, and maybe Cash can bring your notes too.
We had to put him out because he was barking. I mean, he just was trying to be
Aw.
talk over me.
And yesterday he was so sweet and just sleeping back there in
Well,
the
he
corner.
ran a mile, that's why.
Oh,
Right.
what about you,
So,
Jude?
no, I'm going to tell y'all a story because our producer was looking to find a guest that she could bring on to the show to
Okay.
talk about their UFO experience.
Uh-huh.
So she actually joined a couple of UFO groups, alien groups, and she joined them and said, "Hey, would anybody have a story and would like to join our show?" Well, she got a couple of hits. And then she
course.
calls me and she's all excited about, "Hey, let's go ahead and you need to interview them and we can vet them." And I'm like, it's already Friday, so I don't think that's really a good idea. And so I kind of just like hesitated or whatever. And she's like texting this one guy, and he goes, "I can come on and I can tell you my story and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Well, okay, that sounds cool. Where is he located?" And he's overseas somewhere. And then his next question was a little weird because then he asked, "Are you a man?" Because I have some other stories that are not UFO related that are really good stories that I could tell you. And I was like,
He's been probed. That's why he was talking like that.
I was like, that is why we do not bring on international guests.
Oh my! Are you serious?
I know. I was like,
Wow.
what does that have to do with anything?
Oh.
That poor producer, she was busy.
You know what that makes me think of?
What?
Look at the screen.
If you build it, yeah, really.
Right,
Yeah, no kidding.
If you go out looking for it, you're gonna find it. Okay.
right. Yeah. And she was so
Then
excited.
so.
And all of the guests were overseas, and I was like, it's already bad enough because if we have bad audio, bad sound, and they're there at 2 a.m. and we're at 9 p.m. or something like that, it's just going to be. I wasn't really looking forward to it. I was like, I'd rather have someone that we kind of know or somebody kind of knows that we have on, so that kind of thing. So I kind of had to stick that idea in the ground. But yeah,
that's good, Joe. Good catch. Good call on that.
So it's crazy. But I did do some research on a couple of things, and one of them is called the Lubbock Lights.
Get out of here.
Yes, and I saw it, but I didn't finish reading it because it was way too wordy. So tell me.
Too many words. Not good.
So I actually pulled it up over here on Wikipedia because I actually watched a video on it. But it was an unusual formation of light seen over the city of Lubbock, Texas in August and September of 1951. They received national publicity. So whatever Twitter or whatever news sources they had at that time, it spread across. Yeah,
right.
It made it across the United States during that time.
Yes.
They were actually investigated by the U.S. Air Force, and the Air Force. The Air Force believed that the lights were caused by a type of bird.
Oh yes. I've heard of this, but that's a common thing. Is people or the government will always say that it's UFO is a bird, a weather balloon too.
What I read was there was like Texas Tech professors that were actually outside, and so that and so they were able to and then but there was other just regular Joe Schmo that saw it too, which backed it up.
Yeah, there were 3 professors from Texas Technological College, now Texas Tech University. They were sitting in the backyard of one of the professors' homes when they observed the lights fly, and a total of 20 to 30 lights, as bright as stars but larger in size, and flew over the yard in a matter of seconds. The professors immediately ruled out meteors as a possible cause for the sightings. As they discussed their sighting, a second similar group of flights flew overhead. So 2 batches of birds with lights on their stomach flew over during pre-internet days.
They were probably lightning bugs.
Really? I mean, you know how it goes in Texas, right? Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything's bigger. Yeah. So definitely some lightning bugs. Oh, yeah. Christina says they heard about the Lubbock Lights on a show on the Travel Channel.
Yep.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. It was on the History Channel.
Mm-hmm. And actually, there was an amateur photographer that was able to take a picture of them. And so that's that's part of why it became such national news and stuff like that. But of course, the military said it was just a bunch of birds and all that fun stuff. But I don't think anything has been seen since then. that we know of, that has been reported or that I could find anyway.
Yeah, I think I saw the same article that you did. I'm sorry, Jamie, I interrupted you.
No. Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is there was also another one that was also some lights in Leveland.
Really?
And yeah, so
This is news.
yeah, let me bring it up to you. And this was saying this was in November of 1957, and of course the U.S. The Air Force and stuff said, "Nah, what?"
He said, "Me."
We're just going to go ahead and pass on that. But said 2 immigrant farm workers, Pedro Saucedo and Joe Salas, called the police department to report a UFO sighting. And so they were they'd been driving 4 miles west of Leveland when they saw a blue flash of light near the road. They claimed their truck's engine died and a rocket-shaped object rose up and approached the truck. So they were friendly. They were just going to try to boost them. I mean, right?
Right. Yeah. What was wrong with that?
Why'd they call the police on them?
And so anyway, it goes on to say that he jumped out of the truck and hit the dirt because he was afraid. And he said he called out to Joe and the thing passed directly over his truck with a great sound and a rush of wind. He said it sounded like thunder and the truck rocked from the flash. And he said, and he felt a lot of heat. But so the police ignored him. I guess they thought he was
like, how much have you been drinking, sir?
I'll say that you were going to be arrested. But anyway, so then somebody else reported seeing the lights too. Jim Wheeler reported to be a brilliantly lit egg-shaped object about 200 feet long, and it was sitting in the road 4 miles east of Leveland, blocking his path. So, and he also claimed that his vehicle died.
200 feet? That is ginormous.
I said I wouldn't even know what to say. Like if they asked me to describe it, I'm like, it's big.
Yeah, how big is 200 feet actually? Because just to give perspective, is that how many football fields?
200 feet. It's less than 1. Yeah, because the football field is 100 yards, which is 300 feet. So it's about 2/3 of a football field.
Okay.
But even then, I'm like, so he's the only person that saw a spacecraft or whatever that was that could fit inside Jones Stadium and cover 2/3 of the field.
Wow,
that's kind of crazy.
Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm confused.
Nobody else saw it. There was only one guy.
That's what I'm telling you. So that was theirs, and then another Mr. Frank Williams. Fowler was the police officer, and then Newell Wright was a Texas Tech student when he saw it, and his car engine began to sputter. So he's just calling all sorts of mechanical problems. And then a farmer named Frank Williams encountered it. James Long saw it.
Oh, so we're at 4. We're at 4.
Yeah. So,
okay.
And then,
do you know where that location's at? Aren't you from that area? Kinda.
Oh yeah. Do you?
Y'all, I don't even know.
Fancy taking a trip?
South. Y'all know I'm horrible with directions. I'm trying to picture it. I'm like, where was it?
Farm to market. Like I couldn't even tell you any of the farm to market roads here. It was Jillian.
Alien TikTok that we haven't seen.
Right.
Coming out tonight.
No, but she's done an alien photo shoot inside the Bruno house out at Ransom Canyon.
Is
really?
That the public? That looks like a spaceship right there.
Yeah, it is not open to the public, but you can pay to give it to tour. The family that runs it now actually will allow people to tour it. So you pay so much per person and you can do that. But
really?
Yeah. And it's very dangerous inside because it's not completely finished or whatever. So it can, the stairways don't have a handrail and it kind of circles down in the middle. And there's this big hole down in the middle of that little UFO looking.
It looks
place.
like a tetanus shot waiting to happen. I mean,
Right.
I don't get it. I mean, it's interesting. I would probably pay to go see it.
Yeah.
What's this place you're talking about again?
It's called the Bruno House
Bruno House?
out at Ransom Canyon.
Mm.
If you're from the area, you know it. And it's funny because they said that Solange Knowles actually shot her music video, Beyonce's sister, you know, the unknown one.
I don't know what you're talking about. She's pretty known. She's pretty known.
I can't think of any Solange Knowles song. So
I can't think of any song, but I know they're all known.
She's unknown to me.
I don't even know who y'all talking about.
2/3 of the show do not know who he's talking about.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. So, Jamie, what did you find? Haven't you had? So, let's stop right here. Has anyone had a UFO experience within us three? So, no,
I have.
of course you have.
I have. But you know what? Okay. I'll tell you about one of the craziest experiences I've ever had. I have had in Lubbock, I've had 2 out of this world crazy, unbelievable experiences in Lubbock. And
no, go ahead.
And I mean, to this day, I still it freaks me out. But I will tell you. So the first one that I can remember happened after I got off of work from Caboose, and so it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, driving off West Loop 289, and I'm getting off on 4th Street because I'm going to go to Walmart. And as I get off of the loop, I'm not to the red light yet. There on 4th Street, but there's no other cars on the street, which wasn't abnormal from any other night. But there was just this freaky quietness, silence. Like I stopped before I even got to the red light because it was just eerie. It was like a vacuum all of a sudden. It's like someone turned on a vacuum and all the sound just disappeared. And so I stuck my head out the car window and I'm like, and it was just this eerily creepy sound. And then I just happened to look up, and I kid you not, guys, I swear it was almost like if I had gotten out of my car, stepped on the hood of my car, and lifted up my hand, it looked like I could have totally touched this thing. I know that's impossible because, you know, the loop is, you know, I can't even reach over the loop, but it just felt like that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you eat beans that night?
No beans, Sandy.
I just thought maybe.
No. I'm looking at this huge, giant, dark thing in the sky, and slowly it's just going ahead of me. Has zero disregard for the law because it doesn't obey the red light, goes ahead and turns. And so now it's parallel with 4th Street. I get in the car, I'm driving, I can see this thing dark as night. I can see it so clearly though.
But there's no lights.
There's the street lights and everything. You know, like I said, it's 2 or 3 in the morning.
There's no lights on the craft.
Yes, the thing itself has lights. There's 3 lights. It's a triangle.
Why don't you put it on Snapchat?
Wow, who knew? Okay. So I get into the parking lot of Walmart, and I park, but I don't park like I'm going in. I stop, I get out the car, and I'm just staring up, and I'm just like, what in the world? And I cannot believe what I'm looking at. So I'm looking out. There's a few other cars out there. People are walking out too, and people are just staring up. And there's probably about a dozen of us in the parking lot at Walmart on 4th Street. We're all staring up in the sky. And then this thing, like, it doesn't go like super fast, but it goes pretty quick. It just moves west. And then we all just are staring at each other, and we're just like jaws kind of dropping, like, and I have no idea what to do. All I do is get in the car, I go and park, and I get out, and I kind of just keep looking around the sky, and we just all kind of just go around our way still, and just like don't say anything to each other. I was just
You're like, I didn't see it. Did you see it? No.
I don't even know. I don't even know that was the idea. We just were just so freaking stunned.
So like, report this. You didn't write this down? You didn't?
No, I mean, I've carried the story with me. I've told everyone I've trusted, sort of in a way, non-MIB-ish way. I've told the story too. To be honest, this would be the first time I've ever posted it up or videoed it or actually. So this is a recorded encounter, whatever.
Mr. Peter.
So how big would you say it was?
200 feet.
I would say it was probably the size of at least the Walmart parking lot. So the one on 4th Street, it was enormous. I mean, it was huge, huh?
What shape was it?
Triangle. So I saw I didn't just see the lights on the corners, but you could see these like little tiny blinking lights in the middle too. But it was all just dark black. Like it was just dark. Like you could see, because every time when it moved, you could see the stars behind it, above it. You'd see the stars disappear and reappear as it moved past them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's because the birds were flapping their wings.
The birds were flapping.
Those crackles congregate there at that Walmart on 4th Street.
The who does?
Yeah. Those crackles or drackles, whatever those birds are called.
Dragons. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was the first crazy.
That was the first one you heard.
Yeah, the first huge one.
2 in.m. at Walmart on 4th Street in the parking lot with 12 other people.
About a dozen.
I didn't see it on any MySpace postings at that time.
So the internet didn't exist by then. It was 1990. It was 2000.
We had internet in 2000.
No, we didn't.
Internet in 96.
No, we didn't. Only the rich people had it.
Some of us
Only the rich people had it.
Well, yeah, whoever. With our
yes, Carrie. Yeah, Carrie's asking, is that where Rest Haven is? It is.
No, it's not. It's further west. Because Rest Haven.
No. If you turn right on 4th Street.
Yeah, Rest Haven.
Or is Walmart on 19th? It's been over 10 years since I've been back to Lubbock, so please.
If you turn right on 4th Street, there's an apartment.
No, I mean, is Walmart on 4th Street, though?
Yeah.
Off West Loop.
4th and Frankfurt.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so if you turn right, Rest Haven's to your right again.
Rest Haven is to the south of Walmart.
Yeah. Like
so off of 19th? No, that's the entrance.
Oh, that's the entrance. I guess could be kind of.
It kind of backs up to it, but there's a road.
So that was the first one.
You saw it as a triangle too, not as a saucer like a lot of people see.
Right. No, it was not a saucer. It was a triangle. And
So that could have been another Lubbock Lights sighting, is basically what you are saying. Except that you only saw two.
I would have been like getting these people's phone numbers and we would have been friends. We would have had a club.
No, Sandy, you just had this. I'm telling you, this thing was okay. You know what though? I'll tell you about the second time then. And this one has a little bit more validity towards it.
Did you approach?
No. So this one, Joe, was it was Jason, myself, and Jeremy. We were finishing up an install for what was the Spanish restaurant, the Mexican restaurant off of
Abuelos.
Nope. Close to KFC where we used to work at. Garcia's?
Garcia's? No. That's not. It was on Slide Road. That was on Slide Road.
Yeah. It's that shopping center past Target, but before the KFC. I thought it was Garcia's.
Chef Lynn's?
On University?
Dragon Lynn's?
I can't remember which one is University.
University is on the east side more on the east side of town.
Yeah. Yeah, the KFC where JD and I where Chris and I met.
Oh, way over on University and 70-something?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
But there used to be a Mexican restaurant that we did an install for there.
Okay.
I don't remember what it is, but anyway, the restaurant faces east.
Oh, Mi Tio's.
Is that what it was?
That's the only one that we had over there at that time.
Carrie's saying Mi Tio's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Carrie, that's so then.
Yeah, they're not there anymore, but yeah.
Okay, so we were finishing up that install. We got done somewhere between 2 and 4 in the morning, and Jason, Jeremy, and I were out there, and we were just talking. So Jeremy and I had our backs towards, what is that, KLBK, right? That was across the street.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremy and I have our backs towards KLBK. Jason is in front of us like a triangle. He's in between us, and we're just chit-chatting before we're about to leave because we finished up the install.
Right.
And in the middle of the conversation, Jason goes, "What's that?" And Jeremy and I go, like, we look at each other, we're like, "What?" And we look up, and we're just like, "What the heck?" And it was cloudy, but in areas where the clouds broke, it was like this giant rectangular thing in the
Borg
sky.
A Borg
Huh?
cube. A Borg cube.
No, a rectangle. A rectangle. And it looked white, but you could see this moving. And this one was enormous. This one was like, I have no idea. All I can tell you is I remember when we looked at it, we stood there for a few minutes being able to see this thing moving above the clouds, and it had to have been as long as from the Loop to 82nd Street.
Wow.
It was huge, and it was Jason who first saw it. We turn around, we look up, and we're just like,
Where's Jason? Can he remember this?
that would be a good question. I don't know. But we see this thing, and we're just kind of all three like again, it's the same parking lot thing. Like we three were just staring, looking at it. We're like, and I think it was Jason who kind of broke the silence. He goes, "Okay, I'm going home, guys. I'm going. Bye."
Again, why didn't we form a club and
Yeah. Well, I decide to go ahead and be like, I'm gonna hold on. I can't. I was like, so I get in the car and I call JD and I'm like, dude, he doesn't answer. And I'm like calling him back and calling him back. Answer. I'm like looking up and I can still see this thing. So I'm passing, I passed the Loop. I get to where Show Place 6 is, and this thing is still in the freaking sky. It's enormous. And I'm like, dude, you'll never believe. I tell him the whole story, what's happening. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yes, I'm following it right now. And I got scared. Because I was like, I don't know. No one was out in the street. It was just too quiet out there. And I was like, this is what stupid people do. And I'm not going to do that.
It never heard from
danger. I'm like, I need to go home.
Heroes follow the light.
No, not going to follow anything. No, this is for much braver people than myself. This is so. Anyway, I had west on 50th Street, but I could still see it going
East.
Northwest. It kind of turned, but man, guys, this thing was huge. Like, it was long. It was just like, what the heck?
You said it's white.
It was white.
How could you tell it was white in the dark?
Because the clouds, the light, I guess, from the thing itself, you could see the illumination back on it. It's kind of weird to say, but kind of like when the moon illuminates the clouds and you can see the clouds being white. So it's kind of like that. But there were breaks in the clouds where you could see. You could see that. I have an image of what it looked like in my head, but it's weird to say it out loud.
Meet with the sketch artist so they can sketch it out.
Yeah.
That way I can believe you.
It was just, yeah. This is why we don't form clubs and do stuff.
Seriously, you could have formed a club and y'all could have been the Walmart UFOers and it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
They could have
Sandy's all about making the clubs.
Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all a story that I've never told anybody before about my
oh my goodness.
No probing was involved.
No probing was involved.
So
what is up with this?
Eric and I were dating, and we drove to Austin, and I was like, I'm going to stay up with you the whole time. We made it to Slayton, and I passed out.
That is a lie right there. That is a straight up lie.
I don't know what I was thinking. So anyway, we were traveling at night, and I wake up, and there's this huge light, and it's in a circle. And I mean, I roll the window down and I stick my head out and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I didn't even want to tell Eric because I'm like, he's going to think I'm an idiot and we'll probably break up. Like, I didn't want to be embarrassed.
He's like, you're only telling me this now?
So anyway, and I was like, well, maybe I'm just still waking up. So the air hits me and I wake up, and anyway, it turns out it's just one of those like cell towers. That's all it was. It wasn't an alien or anything. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm seeing an alien for the first time.
Freaking Sandy.
And then we finally make it. And then I told Eric, I said, hey, back there, I thought I saw an alien ship, but it turns out it was.
He said, I really wish it was an alien ship.
I know.
That's better than a
Would it take me
cell
to get home and drive?
So on the way to Austin, that's where you're heading, Austin. There,
Yes.
you thought you saw an alien
Yes.
or a UFO of
It's a
some
cell
sort,
tower. It was a 3G cell tower.
not a 5G cell
It was
tower.
not because it's probably just 1G. This was still like 15, 16 years ago. But I thought I was going to have a good UFO story.
Yeah.
No.
That, guys.
I don't have any good UFO stories either, and it kind of upsets me because not only I don't have any good ghost stories, I don't have any good Bigfoot stories, no chupacabra, no alien. I don't have any kind of stories. All of
Chupacabra
that,
only happens in Mexico. Have you been to Mexico?
a couple times.
Okay.
No, there's some Texas stories.
Been a
You know,
couple.
we're right there.
Mutated dog. The chupacabra picture that I saw, it was like a mutated dog. I saw that and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This is what
Well,
was
they said it was a dog that had mange. Mange.
Yes, he needed to be put down. It was awful.
Poor
Yeah,
thing.
that-
Peter, that's only my opinion, not anybody else on the show. If y'all are watching.
We're keeping track now. We're keeping track.
We're going to keep track. We'll let you know because we'll be the first ones to tell y'all if we ever have some type of incident. I don't have. I guess that's how boring I am, or that they don't like me, or
Just
something
like a
like that.
storyteller.
When you take 2 naps a day, I don't think anything
You're
exciting.
missing lots.
You're
You're missing a lot.
Like the ghosts are trying to come in, but they're like, he's sleeping.
We'll catch him back on this next time. We'll get him next time.
Before I took 2 naps a day, people. Okay, I didn't always take 2 naps a day.
Please count on Joe to be like. Please be like. You can count on Joe for anything unless he's sleeping. Then it's like.
Unless he's taking a nap.
Yeah.
So
But
okay.
Go ahead.
I was saying so I did some more research on other things because I didn't know if I was going to talk about those things or not. But have you guys heard of the hollow Earth theory?
No.
No.
All right, so there's a scientist way back in the day. It's pretty impressive. It's the same scientist who found Halley's Comet. I can't remember his first name, but his last name's Haley.
Haley.
Joe.
Mhm.
John.
Anyway, he thought the Earth was hollow. He based this because he thought that he realized the density of the moon and thought, oh, the Earth can't be as dense as the moon. And so the reason for that is we have to have a hollow Earth. And so he actually came up with some pretty intense scientific things. He was like, that's because the Earth has these magnetic fields that are messing up, and the only way that can happen is because there's rotating land in the Earth. Well, they didn't know about tectonic plates then.
Oh.
And so he's like, there's rotating land underneath the Earth, and there's multiple worlds down there. And so he theorized that there was these 2 planes, basically 2 spheres that are rotating within the Earth. And so that's what's causing the magnetic fluctuations on the Earth, which were measurable, and he could find that and stuff. And so anyway, years later, some other scientist comes out and proves him wrong, but also said that because there's a molten core in the middle, that's what's causing the magnetic fluctuation. So the scientific community was like, that's kind of silly, but at the same time, like, well, some of his stuff was right. Just the way it got to it was not right.
Well, so it's kind of like that story, Journey to the Center of the Earth. So that's basically what they're saying. He was saying, and I found his name. His name is Edmund Haley. It's kind of,
there you go.
Yeah. So it's kind of where they kind of get the idea of another Earth.
Yes. So there's this guy named Richard Evelyn Byrd. He was a pilot in World War I. He was an excellent navigator. He was in the Navy, and he decided to explore the Arctic region by air. Okay. He flies over the what is the Arctic? The Arctic is North Pole, right?
Yes.
Look that up for me real quick. I think it is.
North Pole.
Okay. So
Yeah.
he flies.
Antarctica is the bottom. It's the South Pole.
Okay.
Arctic, North Pole.
It's north. Okay, so he flies over the North Pole, and he says he sees a hole in the middle of the North Pole. Like, he ends up flying into this hole, and when he flies into it, he sees like a paradise where it's not cold and there's no water, not like we think, but he flies into this world that's lush green forest type. It's just this amazing place. He sees animals, he sees people, he sees animals that are like dinosaur sized and creatures. He sees things that are like woolly mammoths and stuff. He lands there. He's greeted by
Amelia
natives. Huh?
Amelia Earhart.
Amelia Earhart.
He's greeted by these people there. I don't know that they're actual people, but whatever. And they're hospitable to him and everything. And he ends up they have flying ships down there. He says he has this entire crazy experience. And then he comes back and he reports everything. And a lot of people are like, "You're crazy," but they're like, "This guy was a decorated war vet, basically, and an upstanding member in the military. Like there would be no reason for this guy to make up stories or to lie or anything like that." And so at the end, he's kind of like, "Okay, if you don't believe me, you don't believe me, but I saw what I saw." And
But no one else has ever stumbled on that hole?
so the funny thing to that is there's other people who have stories about hollow earth theory or building it into this. Oh, there's other sub-level worlds that exist and all this stuff. One of the funnier parts to it is flat earthers. So flat earthers believe like what we think is the Antarctic or the South Pole and North Pole. They see in a flat earth that the North Pole and the South Pole are just mountains of ice. And so because it's a circle flat, when you go to the end of the earth, the North or the South Pole, you're actually coming up against these ice barriers, and that won't let you pass. It's a convenient way to explain why you can't get past the border of our flat earth. So
Okay.
it's yeah. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of weird, but in their world, it makes sense. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it. I'm saying that there's just
Yes, you are.
no.
Say
I'm
it.
not. I'm not. I don't. I do think it's funny when people find like legitimate reasons to go with their beliefs, and they find quote unquote scientific reasons to believe it, and it's kind of like, so if I erase my knowledge of history and things like that, I could hear that and be like, okay.
Makes sense.
I could understand why that would make sense to people, but there's too many other things that don't make sense. So it's kind of like,
So you're much better at that than I am because I totally would tell them, "Shut up."
Talking to me.
But I do think it's interesting. There's a lot of so the idea of aliens, for example. So the idea is that aliens don't come from another world; that they come from here. And so, did you watch Godzilla by any chance?
I mean,
Which
when
one?
Alex was
The new one?
we watched Godzilla.
The new stuff. Or King Kong. They also mentioned, so the idea of Hollow Earth is there, and that's where that's where the kaiju, the monsters, come from, is because they're enormous. They live under the ground, like deep underground, and so that's the idea here too. Is that all these aliens and monsters and whatnot that we have on Earth, they actually come from Hollow Earth. The Earth's underneath us, and there's just entries and exits all over the world, and these things come out of those, and they've lost their way. And the aliens are the UFOs or whatever. They come out of Hollow Earth, whatever. And so they're not extraterrestrial. They're interterrestrial.
Oh my god! I can't keep up. E.T. would be a fake.
Please stop.
Hey, it's the Freaky Friday episode. I feel like y'all are raining on the parade and going against the whole concept here.
No.
So I'm gonna let y'all talk a little bit because I've been talking for a while, and I'm sure y'all got plenty to share.
Well, no, I just have one more thing. Did any of you guys watch that Bob Lazar on Netflix?
No.
Y'all didn't watch it? Okay, so this guy, he blew the whistle on Area 51. And so I don't want to spoil it. One, because I don't remember all of it, because I think I fell asleep for the first few. It was kind of boring. But then, so he blew the whistle on him and just reported things that he wasn't supposed to. And at one point, he's like talking to people. Was he talking to a reporter? I can't remember. Well, his cell phone is turned off, and he's talking and telling all these things. The FBI comes like the next day and arrests him. And even though his phone wasn't listening to him. But anyway, it's on Netflix. And
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. It's called
So
Bob Lazar, Area
after-
51 and Flying Saucers.
So shortly after his documentary came out on Netflix, that's when they were going to storm Area 51.
Oh, for real? That's when Naruto Run guy came on?
And then y'all need to watch that his interview with Joe
Rogan?
Yeah.
I might watch this tonight, Sandy.
I was wondering why. So when I was researching some of the stuff, there's a lot. Joe Rogan's podcast brought me here, and a lot of the comments, and I was like, so that he must have had a podcast about it. So
yeah, he did. Cool. And so so that Bob Lazar, it's
Did you watch it all?
Yeah. Well, I fell asleep. I took a nap. Like the beginning part of it, and then I woke up like the interesting part of it.
Nap together 6 feet apart.
Nap while I'm watching something. But yes, y'all need to watch it. It's on Netflix. It's free.
I think I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it on the other. I've got the window open over here. I'm gonna leave it there.
If I watch Tiger King, I have to watch that because
it's only one episode. Required. So.
Speaking of Tiger King, just getting away from the free. Well, I guess this could fall under Freak Friday. Joe, your homework for this weekend is to find the next Tiger King thing and talk about it on Monday.
Right.
Or you too, Sandy, because you watch a lot of the movies and stuff. Like y'all both. I don't watch movies or TV. And you
Like I watch crime stuff. And Carol Baskin is not a suspect in her husband's disappearance. In case y'all were wondering how that's going.
I thought she was.
She's not a suspect. The sheriff came out and said she's not a suspect.
He's in on it.
Well, and there's another episode of the Tiger King that's more of like a
special one, right? The recap and turn.
So
I was just playing. I don't know what it's about. I was just saying.
You lie. You've been watching.
Scout's honor. I'm not watching that at all. Okay.
So it's funny because I have zero belief in ghosts. I have that much. I won't say zero. I'm probably like at 10% or whatever. But for aliens, it's a little bit higher because of some of this ancient stuff that I've watched in the past couple of days. For example, there's this one, I forgot, community, village or whatever, but they used to like warp their skulls so they would grow this way, like up. And they theorized it is because that's how the aliens wanted to communicate with the aliens. So as a kid, I'm guessing that they put a band around their head like this.
Like
so
cone
it would
heads?
Like what?
Like the cone heads?
Yeah. So their skulls look like cone heads, but not. It's crazy. I was like, what the crap are these?
I'm really into what you're saying, Joe, but I just think it's so funny that Sandy's able to connect it with something out of this just ridiculous funny.
Aren't they aliens? I don't think
I'm like, Joe, I'm following you. Yeah, man, that's crazy. And they hear saying like the cone heads? Like, yes, but no, not.
Yeah. Kind of, but not really. But so it's actually humans doing it, not aliens. But they think that they were trying to they were considered shamans, and only certain skulls were actually shaped like that. So that means that only certain people would elongate their skulls or whatever.
So it's still like this to this day. This like they do that now.
No, it's a long gone civilization, but
okay.
But when they found their skulls, and there were several of them that were elongated, and they were shamans and stuff like that, and they knew a lot about the calendars, they knew about the planets, they knew things that during that time that unless they had somebody else telling them.
Thanks, Carrie. We'll keep that in mind.
Without having alien intervention or some type of higher intervention, there's no way that they would have known some of this information that they recorded on their walls or glyphs or whatever. So on Netflix, Evil Genius has given me
That's for you,
nightmares.
Sandy. That's your homework this weekend, Sandy.
Evil Genius. All right, Nick, I'm gonna watch
I'm
it.
looking at it, and it's your style.
Is it based on a true story? That's my
True. It says it's true crime. The baffling true crime story starts with the grisly death of a pizza man who robs a bank with a bomb around his neck, and gets weirder from there.
Okay, I'm watching it, Nick. Thanks so much for that recommendation.
What did the sardine oil? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Baskin, she said, "Oh, she would have had to coat her husband in sardine oil to get the tiger to eat him."
Oh,
That's a thing. Sardine oil's a real thing.
Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Sardine oil's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like sardines. And
I know sardine. I just didn't realize sardine oil was a thing.
Not really. I don't know anything about sardines.
They just took the fish and just kind of rubbed it all over him like this, so the tigers would eat him.
That's so weird. So just real quick, I looked up that Evil Genius from Nick, and in literally the same line on Netflix, I see Don't F with Cats, Tiger King, and The Staircase.
All three of
Like, I think my computer's been listening to us. I think my computer's watching our show.
Well, you know what's funny is how it matches you on Netflix. That's a 98% match for me. Bob Lazar was like a 64% match for me.
Well, I wonder what that's going to do to my kids if I look up Bob Lazar. Like, I'm going to watch it, but I wonder what it's going to do to them. Like because they use the Netflix so much more than I do.
But don't they have their own accounts? You can have different accounts.
I'm borrowing someone else's. Thanks, Chris.
The family member.
Oh,
that's why I think she killed her husband. Not your Chris, a different Chris. So.
No, I know.
Oh, okay. I'd never let you borrow it. Don't worry. So, what were we saying? Chris is gonna go watch that thing right there, that Evil Genius, and then Joe, you're gonna have to watch what the next big thing is on Netflix.
Not Chris. Sandy's gonna watch it.
What did I say?
You said Chris.
That's what I said, Sandy. What's wrong with y'all?
What's wrong with you?
You might want to go back and rewind this video. Unfortunately, I'm a zero believer on.
You know what though, Anita? That's okay because they don't believe in you either. They don't believe in you either.
Right?
Moving on, just scrolling on.
Until you get probed by them,
then you'll come back screaming a different word.
Call me when you get probed. We'll talk.
Right. You better wear some aluminum foil on your head.
When you walk out the house, you watch out. Aluminum foil on the head and on your collar.
Anita, look up when you go throw out your trash at night. See what you see out there.
And then when you come inside, your husband's gonna be like, "You've been gone for like 4 hours. Where'd you go?"
She's like, "I just went to throw out the trash."
He's like,
man, that is crazy.
So I have some on YouTube. I do love talking about, or I do love like aliens and supernatural cryptids and all that kind of jazz. And so on YouTube, I do. So the way it is for you, Sandy, on the true crime stuff, I like the other world stuff or whatever else. And so on my YouTube, next to all the political stuff and the baking channels that I have on YouTube, the third thing would be like cryptids, like this guy. I like Geo. Actually, I celebrate this guy's birthday every year.
I just see him on memes.
He's on Joe. What's that show called?
Ancient Aliens.
Ancient Aliens. Because you said it earlier. I was like, I forgot the name of it. But yeah, so when he first started coming on, it was funny because his hair just got bigger and bigger and bigger, you know. And me and some guys at work back in my State Farm days, we used to be like, dude, it's Geo. His name's Giorgio Tsoukalakis, though, but we just say Happy Geo Day. And so his birthday was actually just a couple weeks ago or something. Anyway, we text each other on that Saturday morning. We were like, Happy Geo Day. And so we've been doing that for like the last 6 years or so now.
That's funny.
It is. If it wasn't for him,
around for a long time. I'm just like, how many?
Because of this guy.
It's so crazy.
It's because of that guy.
He's made it popular. Because of Geo.
So what does he do? Does he showcase like real stories or what?
He's kind of like your like host, not host really, but you know, like one of the scientists on the show or whatever.
He's a scientist?
Yeah.
Like, does he have a degree?
He does. He does. He has a degree in let's see real quick.
And aliens?
I was gonna say
Alien-
something funny, but I was like, no, don't do it.
Don't be funny. Do not be
Alienology.
hilarious, Jamie.
Alienology.
He's an aleontologist.
Let's see. He's a
Ufologist.
Swiss-born writer, ufologist, television presenter, and producer. He's a proponent of the pseudo-archaeological theory that ancient alien astronauts interacted with ancient humans.
Oh yeah, that's huge right now. Or not right now, but it's huge because everyone's like talking about these hieroglyphs and how they point to certain visitors and stuff like that. I'm sorry.
The Mayans.
Yep, the Mayans, the
Egyptians, the were the people who make those giant heads on the Kiwi Island. Is that what Easter Island?
Easter Island people, the Mesopotamians.
It's so cool. You can bring up any country or any age in history, and he just automatically will be like aliens. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. That's his claim. Yeah, that's his claim to fame. And so,
okay,
I like.
Go ahead, Joe.
Nope.
Sandy, you go first.
Nope, go ahead.
So anyway, this guy has really good, like I was saying, he could take any time period and just be like, it's aliens.
Okay,
any time period.
I
was trying to tee y'all up, and that was totally so bad.
Oh, I was supposed to say, what about the 1920s?
What about the 1920s?
It was aliens. Is that how it was supposed to go? Or no?
Yeah. Speaking of the 1920s, there was a battle for Los Angeles in 1920s. And that's when a giant UFO came down in the middle of Los Angeles. And they actually, it's the only time in American history that we've ever mobilized the American military to actually fight an alien invasion. And so the military was sent out to LA, and there's spotlights on this thing. There's tanks pointed at it. There's military. I mean, it's huge. And there's just this giant thing in the sky. There's pictures of it. And it's just like, what in the heck just happened here?
Oh, so
are you talking about War of the Worlds?
No. Battle for Los Angeles was a real event, which later was made a movie.
Oh.
With
Transformers.
That's
like crop circles? That's alien.
No. This was a giant
crop
the
circle?
Battle of Los Angeles. Here you go, look. The Battle of Los Angeles, also known as the Great Los Angeles Air Raid, is the name given by contemporary sources to a rumored attack on the mainland United States by Japan and the subsequent anti-aircraft artillery barrage, which took place from late February 24th to the 25th, 1942, not 20, sorry. The incident occurred less than 3 months after the United States entered World War II. Santa Barbara. People thought it was something attacking from Japan. They never.
Oh, wow. What year did this happen?
1942.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I said the 20s though.
I said the 20s. That's why I said I'm sorry, not the 20s, the 40s.
Oh, okay. 1942.
So check this out. I'll show you the.
Show us.
Show you the money.
What link is it?
Wikipedia. So that's the actual article that ran in the paper that day or the next day. And you can see all the searchlights are actually aimed at it.
Oh, wow. It's not throwing lights down. There's searchlights aimed at it. That's an actual picture, Jamie?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
From the LA Times.
Yeah, it was a legit event. It was scary for them. But it's funny is the way that this I can't even figure out how to get out of here now. The way the article reads, the Wikipedia article, like it doesn't really mention. Let's see.
The Battle of Los Angeles.
Oh, here we go. See? A photo published in the LA Times on February 26th has featured in UFO conspiracy theories as evidence of an extraterrestrial visitation. They assert that the photo clearly shows searchlights focus on an alien spaceship. However, the photo was heavily modified by photo retouching prior to publication. A routine
Mhm.
practice in graphic arts of the time intended to improve contrast in black and white photos.
That was before Photoshop. That was before Photoshop.
It was, but you know what? They're always going to find something, right?
Right.
Always.
Oh, they always find a way to say nay.
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 Well, it's like that video that I tagged y'all in, that live video of the UFO in Singapore today.
Right. You're right. Today. It's like,
It was
if you watch it long enough, you see the video loop.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah,
pay
you can.
much attention to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
she
the
already
video
said
will
that.
loop and the sound will loop, and so Jamie is just like, yeah, okay.
Oh, what is that, Nick? Tell us what that is. I'll probably watch it anyway
Never
later.
was it.
Hey,
So-
so speaking of comments, next week we're going to comb through all the comments of all of our shows for this week and pick out our favorite comments. So that was the reason that we watch. Oh, exactly. Must have been. I'm picking that one.
Hindsight was aliens.
You laugh now, but watch when,
Right.
when our alien overlords come.
Anita, we told you you better wrap your head in some foil. I don't. You're just asking for trouble.
And your booty too. Better wrap it. Make sure they don't
We don't
probe you.
We right here. We are waiting. You know, we're warning you right now.
Carrie said she's going to be waiting for her trophy.
Yeah, so like
Well-
you're saying, Joe, we're going to be highlighting some of the comments.
Some of
from
our
this week.
favorite comments from this week, and we'll talk about it on the Monday catch up.
Yes.
So it is
Monday.
now 1 hour, and we are done for this weekend. For this week, we hope you'll have a great weekend.
Thanks
And-
for tuning in. Anita,
Yeah.
Carrie, Nick, y'all are awesome.
And remember
Yeah.
about the business in Lubbock. What was it called again, Joe? Genuine Exteriors.
Genuine Exteriors. Yeah, make sure you guys go if you need any type of housework done, exterior work or anything like that. Please give them a call. Genuine Exteriors.
And without further ado, I'm going to
Remember
stay
to
quiet for a bit. For
Start
20
again.
seconds.
Yeah, filthy animals.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.